What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video on spiritual justice. Today we're going to be talking about why you should not always be listening to your mind. Your mind is your mind. It doesn't mean that it's always on your side. It doesn't mean that it's always your friend. And today we're going to talk about that. Now, one of my favorite sayings is that you can lose everything in this life, but if you still have control over your mind, you will always be able to get back to where you want to be and even exceed that point. It is the most important thing to me, is having control over your mind, especially as a man in today's society where they're really trying to emasculate us. They're really trying to take our dominance, our assertiveness, our manly instincts away. Especially in a world like this, it is very important to dominate your mind, to completely dominate your thoughts. Now, this is not only for men, this is for women as well. I'm just using that as an example because of today's society and what they're trying to push. But if you have control over your mind, you will always be in a good place in life. Now, saying that, if you're watching this video and you're not where you want to be in life, you're not attracting the things you want, and you don't feel the way that you want to feel, more than likely, you do not have control over your mind. You do not have control over your thoughts. You do not know how to dominate your flesh. And what I mean by dominating your flesh is that when it comes to this life, to really grow, you want to start thinking with higher faculties. You want to actually raise your state of consciousness and start thinking with different chakras, is what I call them. So to give you guys an example of this, we have chakras running through our whole entire body, from the lower part of our body all the way to the top of our body right here. And they go from lowest to highest for a reason. The highest being this and the lowest being down here. So when you tend to think with, for example, your private part, or you tend to think with your stomach, you're thinking from a lower state of consciousness than if you were thinking from your third eye, which is the chakra that you, in the consciousness that you actually want to operate from. That's the state of consciousness that you want to operate from. So that is exactly what I mean by dominate your flesh, because most of the thoughts, the temptations, and the things that you're going to get that's going to lead you down the wrong path, it's going to come from those lower states of consciousness. So just be careful of those. And what I'll do is I'll make a video on the state of consciousness and how to raise them and the different type of ones, so you guys can get a little more specific. But that's not what this video is about. Getting back to why you can't always trust your mind. Now, if we're saying that you're not in the place that you want to be in life, that is a direct reflection on what's going on internally. So that should tell you right there that whatever is going on internally isn't what you want it to be. The thoughts, the feelings, the habits, all of those things you have, it's not what you want to have. And going back to what I said in the beginning of the video, I said your mind is not your friend. Now, it's not that your mind does not want to be your friend. It's just for what you currently want in life, your mind is not serving you, because your mind wants to keep you comfortable. Your mind is programmed. Like when you watch TV, it's a television program because it's programming you. Your mind is programmed from your life, from the things you've been through. And that's why I always like to tell people to close your eyes, look back to your childhood, and think about your traumas. I know a lot of people don't like to, but think about your traumas. Think about the fear-based feelings that you have and why you have them. More than likely, they're going to be tied back to your childhood. You can then realize these, and then you can try to change them. But if you never go inside yourself and look back to why you feel the way you feel, it's going to be very hard to change it. Why do you feel the fear you feel? Why do you feel the lust you feel? Why do you feel the scarcity you feel? A lot of these are going to be based off of things that happened when you were young. So when it comes to changing the specific thought patterns you have and the habits that you have, it is very important to search the mind. It is very important to figure out why you feel these things in the first place. But more importantly, it's important to change these things. And this goes into your mind not being your friend, because if you want to change, that means you have to change the current way that you think. So the current way that you think is not serving you. So you cannot always listen to it. And it's going to be very hard because, once again, it's your mind, it's your thoughts. It's going to be very hard to differentiate the thoughts that you should listen to and the thoughts that you shouldn't. And I'm going to tell you guys exactly how to do that today. So step one, you have to be clear. You have to be clear on what you want to think, what type of habits, what type of thought patterns, and what type of verbiage you want to adapt. Once you're clear on it, you want to write it down. Writing it down is going to solidify it. It's going to make you aware of it, and it's also going to put it in motion. So you want to write down the type of thoughts you want to have, the type of person that you want to be. And once you do this, now It's clear. It's clear what you want to be. So now anytime you have a thought or your mind tells you to do something, you can then look at the paper and see if it aligns with the type of person you want to be. And if it doesn't align, then you know in that moment you should not be listening to your mind. I'm not saying don't always listen to your mind, but there's a moment to listen to it and there's a moment not to listen to it. I want to give you guys a perfect example. Say, for example, I had a presentation due in 2 weeks for work. It was something that was very important to me. Leading up to the presentation, all I thought about was how I was going to fail and how I wasn't confident and how I was scared and all these different type of things. And I went into the presentation with that mindset. More than likely, how do you think I'm going to do on that presentation? You think I'm going to do the best job I possibly can? Or do you think I'm going to go into it nervous? Do you think I'm going to go into it and probably slip up a few words? Or maybe the presentation is not good at all. But now if I had down on a piece of paper a clear vision on the type of person I want to be, and I knew that I wanted to be a confident individual that was good at public speaking, then I would be able to look at that paper and say, I don't want to resonate with this thought. I don't want to resonate with this thought of non-confidence. And once I realize that and become aware of it, that is the first step of actually changing the thought. Now I can replace the thought. Now I can practice telling myself repetitively that I am confident until my subconscious mind then adapts that same thought process. I can then reprogram my subconscious mind while I'm sleeping, which I've made a video about, by replaying affirmations while I'm sleeping so that my subconscious mind reprograms into being a confident individual. The second thing you can do is meditate. Literally just close your eyes and observe your thoughts. Observing your thoughts is going to help you realize what type of thoughts you have. Once you realize what type of thoughts you have, you can realize if they align with that person on the paper. And if they don't align with the person on the paper, you know that you have to change those thoughts going forward, because your thoughts, your inner spirit, your energy, your frequency, your vibration, it is going to create your reality. So if you are giving off a bad frequency, a bad vibration through your emotions and through your thoughts, you will then get bad things in your physical reality. One more tip for you guys. You have to cut out all the things in your life that can be leading to you having the mindset that you have. I'm going to give you guys some examples. Music. I do not listen to secular music anymore. I do not listen to rap music anymore. I do not listen to music about lust. I don't listen to music about greed. I don't listen to music about drugs or strip clubs or anything like that. When just a year ago, that is all the type of music I listened to. And I seen that in my physical life, it reflected. That type of music reflected. It was subconsciously what I wanted. It was subconsciously what I thought about. When I woke up in the morning, song lyrics would be in my head. How do you think that would affect me going through the rest of my day and my thought process? But now that I don't listen to any of that type of music, all I do is listen to affirmations. The only thoughts I have is positive thoughts. I have thoughts that are pushing me in the direction of my goals, thoughts that are going to attract what I want into my physical reality. And it's very important to cut those things out, whether it's people, whether it's music, whether it's an environment, whether it's a place, whatever it is. If it's not serving you, you need to cut it out of your life as soon as possible. So from now on, from when you leave this video on, please take the things that your brain tell you with a grain of salt. Write them down. Write down the type of person you want to be, and think about, do these thoughts resonate with the type of person that I want to be? And if it doesn't, you have to change the thoughts. You have to change them.